Hi everyone, John Bonavente here. We're here at the outside of the airport perimeter at Reid International Airport, and we just had a Frontier Airbus A320 that just took off moments ago from Reid International Airport. And we also have on takeoff, ready to take off from Reid International Airport, the American Airlines Boeing 737-800 aircraft. It's getting ready to taxi onto position for takeoff. Over there's the American Airlines Boeing 737-800 taxiing onto the runway for takeoff. And we'll hear the engine start up on the American Airlines Boeing 737-800 once it takes off. Waiting for takeoff clearance from air traffic control. We're gonna hear the engine thrust on the American Boeing 737-800 once the pilots puts the thrust reversers on to roll down the runway. Still waiting on takeoff clearance for the American Boeing 737-800. And we're hearing the engine getting ready to start up. Looks like it has takeoff clearance by air traffic control. There goes the American Boeing 737-800 taking off from Reid International Airport. Over there taxiing to the runway is a Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8 getting ready to taxi onto the runway for takeoff. Over there. Here we have a JSX ERJ 145 touching down at Reid International Airport. This one came in from Carlsbad Airport. It's touching down right now. You see it down there. Over there is a Southwest Boeing 737 MAX 8 taxiing onto the runway for takeoff at Reid International Airport. It's taxiing onto the runway. So there's the Southwest Boeing 737 MAX 8 getting ready to taxi onto the runway for takeoff from Reid International Airport. And over there to the left-hand side of the Southwest Boeing 737 MAX 8, we have an Air Canada Airbus aircraft over there. It's an Airbus A320 getting ready to taxi for takeoff at Reid International Airport for service to Toronto Pearson International Airport. So we're gonna listen on this engine thrust up for the Southwest Boeing 737 MAX 8. And there it goes. It's taxiing down the runway for takeoff. In line we have an Air Canada Airbus A320 getting ready to taxi into position and hold at Reid International Airport. Over there is the Air Canada Airbus A320. It's getting ready to taxi onto position for takeoff. So here we have an Air Canada Airbus A320 aircraft getting ready to taxi into position and hold on the runway for the flight to Toronto Pearson. And here goes the aircraft, Air Canada Airbus A320, getting ready for takeoff. There it goes. Over there at the airport, waiting in line for takeoff, we got the United Boeing 737 MAX 8 getting ready to taxi onto the runway for takeoff. Over there, it's United Boeing 737 MAX 8 It's getting ready to taxi onto the position to the runway for takeoff. You see it right over there, the United logo. Here we have a Southwest Boeing 737 MAX 7 touching down at Harry Reid International Airport over there. You see over there, just touching down right now. And here we have the next aircraft here. We have a United Boeing 737 MAX 8 getting ready to taxi onto the position on the runway for takeoff for the flight to Los Angeles. Over there at Harry Reid International Airport, we got a Amazon Prime Air Boeing 737-800 getting ready to prepare for takeoff to March Air Reserve Base. And here we have the United Boeing 737 MAX 8 getting ready to take off from Harry Reid International Airport once it gets the takeoff clearance from air traffic control. It's waiting on takeoff clearance. United Boeing 737 MAX 8 should be rolling down the runway soon once it gets the engines thrust set up. So in line we have an Amazon Air Prime Air Boeing 737-800 waiting for takeoff after this United Boeing 737 MAX 8 gets ready for takeoff to Los Angeles. And they're still waiting on takeoff clearance by air traffic control. Once air traffic control clears the United flight for takeoff, it will be the next aircraft's turn, the Amazon Prime Air Boeing 737-800. Over there is a KLM 777-300 getting ready for takeoff at Harry Reid International Airport for the flight to Amsterdam Schiphol Airport. And here we have the United Boeing 737 MAX 8. It's getting ready for takeoff. I hear the engines. And there it goes. Aircraft rolling down the runway. Next up, online for takeoff, we have an Amazon Prime Air Boeing 737-800 getting ready for takeoff from Harry Reid International Airport for the flight to March Air Reserve Base in San Bernardino. There goes the Amazon Prime Air Boeing 737-800 getting ready to take off for the flight to March Air Reserve Base in San Bernardino. There's the United Boeing 737 MAX 8 turning right, heading 170 as it clears the traffic area for other aircrafts. And here goes the Amazon Prime aircraft. Next aircraft waiting in line for takeoff is the KLM Boeing 777-300 getting ready to taxi into position for takeoff for the flight to Amsterdam Schiphol Airport in the Netherlands. It's waiting on another aircraft to land. I see one in the other direction. It's coming in the other direction, so I wonder what aircraft is that coming in. So here we have a KLM 777-300 getting ready for takeoff from Harry Reid International Airport for the flight to Amsterdam Schiphol Airport in the Netherlands. You see the KLM 777 over there? Over there is the Allegiant Airbus A320 aircraft getting ready for takeoff. from Harry Reid International Airport, along with the Frontier Airbus A320 over there is getting ready for takeoff for the flight departure out of Harry Reid International Airport. We also have another aircraft coming in to land. I think it's another Southwest aircraft that's coming in to land. But over there is another aircraft coming in for landing. Over there at Harry Reid International Airport, it's another Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8 getting ready to taxi to the runway for takeoff at Harry Reid International Airport. We're still waiting on this KLM 777-300 for takeoff from Harry Reid International Airport for the flight to Amsterdam Schiphol Airport in the Netherlands. So we have 3 aircrafts waiting for takeoff from Harry Reid International Airport. And here comes the Southwest Boeing 737 MAX 8 touching down at Harry Reid International Airport. It's a Boeing 737 MAX 7. There's the plane touching down. There. Over there we have a private jet taxiing to the runway for takeoff. And here we have the KLM 777-300 gearing to taxi into position for takeoff from Harry Reid International Airport for the flight to Amsterdam Schiphol Airport in the Netherlands. We're waiting on the next available aircraft to land. We have another aircraft, another Southwest Airlines plane coming into Harry Reid International Airport, which I'll pan over so we can see the plane coming in for landing. We have another aircraft, so let's see what this one is. We have another Southwest Boeing 737-800 MAX touching down at Harry Reid International Airport. Still waiting on takeoff for the KLM 777-300 because there's a lot of aircraft coming in to land at Harry Reid International Airport, but I'm hoping this KLM 777-300 will get its turn to take off from Harry Reid International Airport for an international flight to Amsterdam Schiphol Airport in the Netherlands. We have an Allegiant Air Airbus A320 aircraft waiting on takeoff after the KLM aircraft, and we have the KLM 777-300 getting ready to taxi into position for takeoff for the flight to Amsterdam Schiphol Airport in the Netherlands. Air traffic controls getting the taxi into position and hold for the KLM 777-300 aircraft. Once that taxis onto the runway and hold its position, it will take off to Amsterdam Schiphol Airport in the Netherlands. Here we have the KLM 777-300. It's getting ready for takeoff, and it's taxiing into position and hold on the runway. So, air traffic controls giving the aircraft to check the landing lights to make sure it's ready to go, and it will taxi down the runway for takeoff. So let's listen to the engine start up real quick. flight to Amsterdam Schiphol Airport in the Netherlands. Next aircraft waiting for takeoff at Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas is Allegiant Air Airbus A320. This one's taking off for the flight to Reno, Nevada. It's taxiing into position for the runway. And we have two Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 7s getting ready for takeoff from Harry Reid International Airport. So we're going to watch this Allegiant Air Airbus A320 take off from Harry Reid International Airport for the flight to Reno, Nevada. On the Allegiant Air Airbus A320 for engine start. Landing lights are on. Flaps are extended for the Allegiant Airbus A320. And we'll listen to the engine startup. Airbus A320 aircraft taking off from Harry Reid International Airport for the flight to Reno, Nevada. Over there taxiing to the runway is a JSX ERJ-145 aircraft getting ready to prepare for takeoff from Harry Reid International Airport for the flight to Carlsbad Airport, Palomar McLean Airport in Carlsbad. First aircraft taxiing to the runway is a Frontier Airbus A320 aircraft preparing for takeoff from Harry Reid International Airport for the flight to Cancun. There goes the Frontier Airbus A320 taking off from Harry Reid International Airport. And lining up in line at Harry Reid International Airport is a Southwest Boeing 737 MAX 7 getting ready for takeoff from Harry Reid International Airport for the flight to Burbank. So we have a JSX ERJ-145 aircraft taxiing on the runway. Actually, it's holding position on the runway for takeoff because there's a Southwest Boeing 737 MAX 7 getting ready for takeoff. So once that plane takes off, JSX ERJ-145 aircraft will be able to taxi position onto the runway. And there goes the Southwest Boeing 737 MAX 7 taking off from Harry Reid International Airport en route to Burbank. Next aircraft waiting for takeoff is a Southwest Boeing 737 MAX 7 waiting on another flight coming in to Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas. There's two planes coming in, a Southwest plane and another aircraft following each other. So we have a JSX ERJ-145 aircraft waiting on the runway for takeoff for another flight coming in to Harry Reid International Airport. There's two aircraft in the flight pattern to Harry Reid International Airport. JSX JSX ERJ-145 aircraft is holding its position on the runway while waiting for another aircraft coming in to land at Harry Reid International Airport. I think it's another Southwest Airlines plane. That one over there is a JSX ERJ-145 aircraft touching down at Harry Reid International Airport. This one came in from Palomar McLean Airport in Carlsbad. But there's another aircraft coming in to land, so we're gonna keep our eyes peeled on the Southwest Boeing 737 MAX 7. And speaking of that one, it's getting ready to taxi into position to the runway for takeoff. So you have two Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8 taxiing to the runway. One of the aircrafts is lining up on the runway for takeoff at Harry Reid International Airport. We're going to see the landing lights or the takeoff lights on the Southwest Boeing 737 MAX 7. So let's watch and see what happens. Okay, it's waiting on takeoff clearance, so we'll listen to the engine start up. And there goes the Southwest Boeing 737 MAX 7 taking off from Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas. It's rolling down the runway for takeoff. Next available aircraft's got three Southwest Boeing 737 MAX 8 aircrafts getting ready to prepare for takeoff from Harry Reid International Airport. Right over there. It's waiting on takeoff clearance to taxi onto the runway for takeoff. We also have a JSX ERJ-145 aircraft holding position on the runway for takeoff at Harry Reid International Airport. Over there is the other aircrafts coming in to land at Harry Reid International Airport. Three on the same flight pattern over there.